Hey guys, coming to you September 20th. Status of the garden updates. I see a big spider out of the corner of my eye. So these are some of the squash that I let cure on the vine. So you'll see, like, I put my fingernail, there's no mark. That's how we know that they're cured. I'm leaving them outside to cure in the sun. We did have a little bit of rain yesterday, late in the day, not anything sufficient, so I'm gonna need to water. So these are all pretty good. You could see we're still battling bugs. I've got the loofah growing. The poor cucumbers are trying to hold on, but they're looking really rough. I'm hoping to get something out of this squash. This is a reseed, trying to get something since the other ones got eaten by squash borers. Still having a lot of damage from cabbage worms. Every day I come out here and I pull worms off, and literally every day there's more damage. So I don't know if I'm missing worms. I don't know what's going on. But there's still whitefly. You see the kale's really bad, so there's a spider web set up over here. I don't know if you can see it, so I'm trying to leave it in place because I'm hoping the spiders will start eating the bugs, because it's just crazy still. I mean, we're having cool nights, and yet still so many bugs. We got a few string beans on here we've been harvesting. Things are growing back after the gopher ate them. You could see the sweet potato vine sent up new leaves. The stevia is growing. Here's the other loofah. We've got some sun gold producing here. Some tulsi. Growing. This is another stevia. The sorrel's having a rough time as well. Here's a friend, hoping he eats more bugs. The other loofah. These sweet potatoes, it's taking a long time for them to come back, and the groundhog is not giving up. It keeps coming. So I'm not sure what we're actually gonna get. See, the dahlias are finally blooming. They had a little bit of pest and disease issue, but not so bad, thankfully. But all the squash I had planted here, they all died. I got nothing out of them. So I did say that this soil is not great. The roots from the maple tree tend to affect it. So next year, I think I'm just gonna do potatoes here and just plant them right onto the mulch and just pile up and see how that goes. Oh, this is the monarch that we had released last night. It's not able to fly long distances, so we're not sure how that's going to work out. I was actually at the beach yesterday, and there was a lot of monarchs passing by, so they're starting to make the trek south. So no figs this year on the fig tree, but it looks like next year we will have figs, which is exciting, since I grew that from a bare root plant. You could see everything is kind of really still suffering from the drought, the intense heat. Again, bugs are still on. The crepe myrtle, you can see the damage. This was filled with aphids, crepe myrtle aphids. But look, Russian sage is blooming. The bees are happy. The sedum is in bloom. The vinca is still holding on. Some crabgrass here. I was gonna weed yesterday, but time just got away from me. There is some things that I want to pull so they don't set seeds for next year. But I was hoping it was gonna rain and then it would be easier to pull everything. It was really foggy this morning. You can see a hummingbird likes to go to this plant. And so everything is kind of damp, but it's not damp because it actually got any sort of rain. You can see the Weigela is still struggling. The poor dogwood is really struggling. So the groundhog was in here again yesterday, eating bok choy. My sage plant got messed up. I did trim this back on Sunday. I am gonna cut both of these squash today. I'm happy that some of these, oh, there's bugs on this, are a good size. So I'm gonna cut these and shred them, freeze them. You could see the tomato. The plums are doing great still. The heirloom tomatoes are looking real rough. The watermelon died. One watermelon we're hoping ripe. The other one was basically just seeds. It was not any flesh really. You could see in here, this sweet 100s are still producing. I don't think this yellow pear is going to do anything. It doesn't get enough sun. These back there, making sure nothing's going on. The motherwort had a second blooming. So this is the part you use for medicine. It's good for a lot of female issues. It's also good for thyroid stuff. You can see like bugs, see? More bug damage, but I don't see the bugs, so it must be happening at night. I don't know. It's very, there's so much bugs, it's crazy. I see this too, that's got bug damage. This is the astragalus. This is meadowsweet. And it's really happy, but it also has bug damage on it. Oy, oy, oy. Just bugs on everything. Cosmos are taking over. Oh, I did harvest 2 cabbages out of here. I have one left I'm leaving. One was really small and had bug issues, but the other one was a really good size. So I was happy about that. So you could see here what's going on. This tomato's got to be pulled. We've got some peppers. You can see they're growing up into the trees. It's actually really hard to get back there because the other side, the weight of the tomatoes is pulling down. But the plumbers are still producing. They really don't have much disease, which is great considering the nights have been cooling down into the 60s. Oh, there's another spider web there. I'm trying not to interfere with the spider webs because I want the spiders. Since we don't spray, I want the spiders to eat the bugs. Oh, look at that. See that? Hoping, hold on. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's hard to tell. Yeah, well, I'm hoping that's a beneficial. It doesn't look like a swallowtail and it doesn't look like a monarch, but it's on the parsley. And typically those are the 2 types of butterfly larvae that's on the parsley. So again, spittle bugs I'm still dealing with. You can see on the plant it looks like spit. That's spittle bugs. They basically poop that out. It's lovely. Gets on everything. We've got some jalapenos that I can pick, which is great. Could add that to the fermented sauces I made. This string beans got annihilated by the groundhog. I'm not sure if we're going to get anything off of it anymore, which is a shame because it was producing well. Oh, there's a flower. And here's some new growth. So maybe, if it leaves it alone. The asparagus sent up some new fronds, but they have worms on them, so I've been picking that off because it's just crazy. But you could see here the tomatoes, I don't know, 9 feet tall right now. This one is bent over. I've got to try to tie that up a little bit better to this bamboo. I'm not sure. The zucchinis are looking a little rough. They're still alive, which is amazing because I usually don't have zucchini this long. So it's definitely because of the homeopathic. So we have flowers, but no fruit. The fruit we had was, I don't know, we didn't get a lot of it. But some of the small fruit did shrivel up. You could see arugula was seeded, some spinach. We did seed lettuce. I don't think anything really came up. You could see some baby tromboncinos in there, so that's promising. Again, I'll take whatever food I can get. We've got our squash. You can see These plum tomatoes are still looking good. They're still growing. They're still putting off flowers. So I'm happy about that. You can see the Jerusalem artichokes are beginning to flower. Right, so even though they have powdery mildew, they are sending out flowers, which means we should have good tuber size on the bottom. I usually put that in dog food because it's a little bit too much fiber for Tommy and I. You can see these are motherwort babies in here. I've got to put them somewhere else. The calendula is still growing. Got our fennel, the bronze one. The honeysuckle is kind of taken over from over here. It's growing into everything. So I'm going to have to trim that up as well. You can see the chumbacino started to grow into the grass. I'm going to let it do that. Because, again, any food I can get, I'm going to take. But the sage is looking nice and full. The lemon balm really went gangbusters in this flower pot. This is as big as it's ever been. Thai basil, the chamomile that I did harvest some from. You can see here, this is where the groundhog has eaten things. The wild spinach, the bok choy. I'm not sure what else it's eating. Oh, it did eat Jerusalem artichokes. It basically is not picky. Whatever it can get, it's going to get. The elderberries are looking a little bit better now that it's cooled down and it's not so hot. But they're still kind of struggling. And this is an elderberry growing with a locust tree. So we're having the locusts invade the yard again. There's Bee snoozing in the wet grass. She's getting groomed today, so I'm not too concerned. Not going to be my problem. Choke cherry. I have to take some cherries off of it. But, you know, some things are still growing. The things, of course, I don't want to grow are growing, and the things I want to grow are not. So we're still getting monarchs on the milkweed, so we're leaving the milkweed for as long as it's needed. But look, giant locusts. I actually was happy because aphids were on this, and I thought, oh, the aphids will kill it. Nope, they did not. See, there's a black feather, so Raven was probably here this morning, which is a good omen. Ravens need positive manifestations, positive changes, so I'm all for that. You can see the medicinals. It's been kind of windy, so everything has kind of been blown around. I'm hoping that that rat has gone somewhere else. We have not seen it in a few days. Instead, now I'm dealing with bunnies and bunny poop. This peach did germinate already, and I'm a little concerned about that because it's not supposed to, because I live in a cold climate. None of the other ones did, which is good. And you can see I had some of the blackberry I put here trying to get more plants. This is mullein. I'm hoping it works. Still, there are bugs on all of the hummingbird plants. Let's see. So usually we overwinter these so that the hummingbirds have good sized plants when they come back. I'm not going to do that this year because I don't want these bugs when it gets time for me to do seedlings on my seedlings. That would be very bad, and I would be really upset. So they're unfortunately not going to live out much longer. But basically there are bugs on all of them. So I've been walking around and killing what I can because I made up a spray with essential oils and such, and it did not do anything. So, oh good, that's bird crap. I was gonna say, please don't tell me there's bugs on this too. So because the spittle bugs were all over the not 4 o'clocks, firecrackers, and there was bugs on the gooseberries. So I'm hoping that they don't spread to anything else. If you look down here, all you see is rabbit poop. So every day I've been picking up rabbit poop because my dog likes to eat it. You could see that tomato is not gonna live. So I'm gonna pull that today. The sweet potato looks good. The groundhog has not found that one, so I'm happy about that. Got some evening primrose here. You can see how tall it is. You use the seeds for medicine. Also, it supports women's hormones. And that's where we're at. Let me know what you're doing. We're signing off, B. Say goodbye.